welcome. Today, we're going to go on a journey, one that's going to totally transform the way you see and use Excel. We're going to move way beyond just simple spreadsheets to unlock its real power, turning that raw, messy data into some powerful, useful insights. So let's dive right in. So let me just ask you, when you hear the word Excel, what pops into your head? A big old calculator? A place to keep lists and, add up some numbers? If that's you, you are definitely not alone. But that is barely scratching the surface of what this incredible tool can actually do. And here's the difference, right here in a nutshell. Over on the left, that's the Excel most of us know, right? A basic grid for adding things up. But on the right, that is our destination, a dynamic visual tool that doesn't just store data, it explains it. It helps you make real decisions. That's the leap we're going to make together today. So here's our game plan. We'll start by building a really solid foundation. Then we'll get into taming our raw data. After that, we'll fire up some formulas, the real engine of your data, and discover the absolute magic of pivot tables. We'll even try to predict the future with what-if analysis. And by the end, you'll have a brand new toolkit. Okay, first things first. Before you can do any of the cool, powerful analyses, you've got to set the stage. How you structure your data from the very, very beginning, well, it makes all the difference. It's the secret that unlocks all of Excel's most advanced features. And here is the single most important shift in thinking you need to make. Stop seeing your data as just some static report. Start thinking of it as a structured data list, kind of like a simple database. This specific format is what signals to Excel that, hey, I'm ready for the powerful stuff. Now, the rules are simple, but trust me, they're non-negotiable. First, every single column needs a unique header, a name, in that very top row. Second, each row after that has to be one single complete record, like one sale or one customer. And finally, this is a big one, absolutely no blank rows or columns inside your data. You get this foundation right, and everything else we're about to do becomes not just possible, but easy. So with our data structured the right way, we can now start bringing some order to the chaos. And we'll do that using two fundamental features, sort and filter. It's so important to get the difference here. Sorting physically rearranges all of your data. If you sort by date, every single row in your sheet moves to that new order. Filtering, on the other hand, is totally different. It doesn't move anything, it just hides the rows you don't want to see right now, letting you focus on one little piece of the puzzle, like sales from just the West region. Okay, now for the real horsepower. Formulas are what turn Excel from just a static box of information into a dynamic engine that calculates, analyzes, and finds things for you all automatically. Let's talk about one of the most famous and, let's be honest, sometimes feared formulas, VLOOKUP. But it's not scary, I promise. All it does is act like a bridge. It looks for something in one table, say a product ID, and then it zips over to a completely different table and pulls in related info, like that product's price. It will save you hours of manual work. So picture this. You've got a sales sheet, but you're missing all the prices. Instead of looking up every single item and typing the price in by hand, no way. VLOOKUP does it for you. It grabs the item from your sales list, finds it in your price list, and boom, pulls the correct price right over. That's automation at its best. All right, so if formulas are the engine, then pivot tables, well, they're the magic wand. This is, without a doubt, the single most powerful feature in Excel for taking a huge, overwhelming mountain of data and summarizing it in just seconds. So let me give you a challenge. Imagine your boss hands you a spreadsheet with 50,000 rows of sales data. 50,000. And they ask a simple question. What's our top selling product in each region? I mean, where would you even begin? Doing this manually would be a total nightmare. You'd be staring at a wall of data just like this. You could literally spend all day sorting and filtering and copy-pasting, and you'd probably still make a mistake. It's basically impossible. Or you could use a pivot table. With just a few clicks, that entire wall of data transforms into this, a clean, simple summary that instantly answers the question. All 50,000 rows boiled down into one powerful report. That, right there, is the magic. You know, the best way to think about pivot tables is that they're like data Legos. You can just drag and drop the little fields and instantly pivot your whole view of the data. Want to see sales by month instead of by region? Just move a block. By salesperson, move another one. You can build a dozen different reports in just minutes. It's incredible. So far, pretty much everything we've looked at has been about analyzing data that's already happened. So now let's switch gears and use Excel to peek into the future by exploring different possibilities with its what-if analysis tools. First up are data tables. These are brilliant for answering questions like, hey, what happens to our profit if we change our prices? Instead of testing one price at a time, a data table shows you all the possible outcomes at once, laid out in a single, neat grid. Check this out. For example, a two-variable data table, like this one, can instantly calculate your projected sales based on a whole range of different inputs, like different growth rates going down the side and various expense percentages going across the top. You get to see every single possible combination without having to change your original formula again and again and again. Now, GoalSeek is super cool because it flips the whole question around. Instead of asking what if, it lets you ask how to. You tell Excel the result you want to get, like, say, a target profit of $200,000, and GoalSeek figures out what input you need to change to get there. It does the math backwards for you. And the process is just unbelievably simple. You literally just tell GoalSeek, hey, set this income cell to $200,000 by changing this sales cell. Then you click OK, and Excel just churns through all the possibilities and then gives you the exact answer you need, precisely how high your sales have to be to hit your goal. So let's just take a second and recap the powerful new toolkit that you've just unlocked on this journey. We have gone from a simple grid to a strategic decision-making powerhouse. You now know why data lists are the absolute foundation for success. You've got sort and filter to bring order to all that chaos. You can use VLOOKUP to connect and bridge all your different data sets. You've seen the pure magic of pivot tables for summarizing instantly, and you can use what-if analysis to help model the future. So, you've now seen what's really possible when you move beyond the basics. The real question is, with this entire new toolkit right at your fingertips, what huge data problem, what big business question are you going to solve first?